Hi everyone, this is Killshot99 Gaming. This is The Walking Dead Rick's final episode countdown. This will be the final countdown that we do for a Rick Grimes episode. It's mixed emotion, isn't it? Hopefully you guys are having a great Sunday. We are less than 1 hour away from this thing happening. I know there's some excitement. Tommy's sending me pictures. He's making chili. We got people in chat asking if this is live chat, love chat. It's both. It's a lovely live chat. Walking Dead Nerd sent me some information. Scott Gimple just tweeted out a couple other descriptions of tonight's episode. So he says it's the big Walking Dead program. It's going to be momentous, massive, emotional, and epic. So he didn't use brutal and graceful this time, but he says, do check it out. And I know each and every one of you are here to check it out. This is live stream number 3 today. We said the drive for 5. We got episode number 5. We're going to do 2 more. So after The Walking Dead at 10:15, we will do a quick reaction video. It's going to be 15 or 20 minutes. Not going to take you completely away from Talking Dead. And then we're going to do an extended reaction video with a whole lot of other stuff as well. So we got a lot of things to get into. We're not going to go line by line spoilers tonight because we've done plenty of that all week long. We are going to talk a little bit of the overview, some of the themes of tonight's episode, and then once we get through this one, I think we're going to be able to get to our predictions and some of the other things next week. This has the potential to be, I think, the most watched and the best Walking Dead episode of all time. So we're going to jump into a super chat here. So, leaked the last minute of the episode with Judy. Yes, it has been out there on Twitter as well. So, you guys can see the official Judy interaction with who she's going to interact with. And, of course, we did have a picture of it up a little bit earlier in today's stream, so you got a chance to see that. Absolutely. You guys don't have to thank me for streaming. I really wanted to do enough streams today to hit almost every time zone. So, we started 11 o'clock, 3 o'clock, 8 o'clock. So, we're everywhere. And so there's no excuses for someone to be left out. All right, so here we go. Let's get into a little bit of what's going to go down tonight. I do have to tell you, this episode, in the short time we're going to get it, is about the journey. And we're not going to be, I think we're going to be left after this episode wanting a little bit more and probably wondering why we didn't appreciate a little bit more of Rick's last final couple episodes, and they've been promoting it. So on the flip side, we have people saying, look, I don't like the way Andy goes out, and I don't like the way AMC's drumming it up, and they're promoting his last few episodes and then his last 2 episodes. I'm cool with it because, one, I think it's important that they let everybody know, because now what are a lot of people going to do? They're going to go back and watch them over and over again. At least they told everybody in advance, like, pay attention because you're going to want to experience every interaction and every piece of the acting. I think that he's nailed it. And tonight, you're going to see more of Andy than anybody else. It is his journey, and it is kind of his final journey through. So let's take a lot of notes. Let me ask everybody here to do what we normally do. If you know the spoilers, then everything that we've talked about, everything we've predicted, I want you to think of that and put a number in mind. And I just want to compare, because we did this the other night. So from a 1 to a 10, so I got a recent version of it. I want you to rate what you think tonight's episode is going to be from a 1 to a 10. And then I'm going to ask a follow-up question with that as well. So let's just get a whole bunch of numbers popping up here. We got some 10s. I think we're going to get some people that are going to go a little bit crazy. Emmy, put the Emmy curve on it. So Emmy's going to probably rate it a 5 million. The people that are a little lower, they want a little closure. Fair enough. All right, and this follow-up question is more for Angela Kang, Scott Gimple, the group. If Rick were to die in tonight's episode, can you give me a follow-up rating? So those of you that all gave 10s, 15, 20s. So if Rick doesn't survive it, and we're never to see him again, and we see Walker Rick, Now, a few of the people that rated low are going to rate high, and a lot of people that rated high are going to rate really low. 10 minus 6? Okay. If he dies, it's a 2. Well, certainly the rumors and the spoilers and the predictions and everything had better be right, because you can see how there would be a drastic shift in what we're doing. All right, we'll let stream catch up just a little bit. So, what are you most afraid of tonight? I know what you're most looking forward to, and we've asked this question a lot of different ways. We do want to see the Jada story play out. We want to see the Judy situation and Rick. What are you nervous about? What are you scared? Do you think the spoiler could be wrong? Oh, that's what I see. That's what I was looking for. Rick dying. Yeah, you know, a lot of those, it's like, believe it till you see it. So I just know if it is wrong, we got a lot of explaining to do. I'm gonna go in hiding for at least about 5 years. All right, we got a couple of super chats, so let me jump over this. We got Dorothy Martin. Just want to say thank you to Andrew Lincoln for 9 incredible seasons. Can't wait to see what the rest of the season holds. Much love to Kills and the 999 Army. So, Dorothy, thank you for that. Shout out for Andrew Lincoln, because hopefully he watches and picks up from time to time, and can see that we probably have some of the most passionate fans. I'm not probably. We do have the most passionate fans in the world in this stream. So, thank you. Pete D says, I'm afraid the death would be better than what Rick is facing. Well, Rick is going to have to face his fears. He's going to have to face, I guess, the proverbial demons that are out there. But he's also potentially going to face, I don't want to say the unknown, but I just don't trust these people in the helicopter. The way they keep coming back to Jadis and the way she looks afraid, I don't know that if the helicopter plays out tonight, I don't know that I'm excited to see what's going to happen with Rick next. Would be a lot of hype around a Walking Dead movie. So, this question is more directed at the people who said they want Rick to die and they want closure. So I have a question for you specifically. And that's only about 5 to 10% of the people in the stream. How many of the people who think it's better if Rick died would go see a Walking Dead movie with Rick in it, not knowing whether he would live or die? So possibly he would die in the movie. Because I know all the people that said, yes, they want Rick to live, would go watch the movie. So, there you go. I mean, that pretty much answers your question. A couple people say, nope, not at all. But you just made the point for not killing him. I mean, if the people who love Rick are going to watch the movie, and if the people who think that Rick should die in the TV show are going to go watch the movie, then, I mean, not going to say it's obvious, but it's obvious. And the third group of people are a group of people that would potentially, if they saw it on the big screen, I think they would definitely bring some viewers over. I don't think they're going to lose any viewers by making a movie, but I think that people who, like shows like Overlord and like, a lot of things that are out there would check it out. One more interesting, this is a rough 999 statistic. It's not based on any science because I've done a couple surveys. This is just more me generalizing most of our viewing audience. I will say most of the people who have left comments and or were really frustrated. Not all. So don't take this as, if you're female, don't say, well, I want him dead too. The majority of the people who seemed upset that Rick is not dead are young male. The majority of the people, and I only know based on my interactions with you and your name. I mean, you could be Jessica and you might be Tom. Not saying everybody is who they are, but the majority of the people that were super excited sending me messages were a little older female. Not old, but you know what our audience is. So just to give you kind of an overview. And I think some of that, I'm going to give a follow-up of why I think that is. Sheila Beasley says, Andy's the heart and soul of the show, but I believe because of that, the others, Norman and Melissa, will keep his spirit alive. I do too. And I think the fact they're probably not killing him will keep his spirit alive as well. So, once again, not to completely generalize, but of that audience, the younger male audience that kind of wanted him dead are also, for the most part, a viewer base that wants The Walking Dead to return and to be a zombie show. And of the other base that was the most excited, sending me messages about Rick, is a viewer base that sees the show more about relationships and how the characters bond with each other. So just kind of keep that in mind, especially when responding. And I'm not saying one side is right and one side is wrong, but it's perception. All I would say is neither side should be upset or disappointed in the way it plays out because the writers have done an incredible job. And when the reaction video happens later on tonight, you're going to see a little bit more raw emotion. You're going to see a little bit more of there's people that are pissed off. I mean, I read all the comments. Omega Speed said, "You're the best Walking Dead live streamer and channel." You know what? I don't have to read the rest. You kind of had me at that. It's like, thank you. No, I'm just messing with you. I think Rick will come back next season, maybe at the end, if there is a next one. Omega, I don't think so. I don't think he's coming back in a year. I really don't. I'm checking out something, guys. Yeah, I think I'm just going to ask the mods to be really careful tonight because with comments, people are going to say things, but we got we're a little trigger happy, and I think the wrong people are getting hidden. So let's unhide Hippo, please, if we can, mods. Hippo got hidden, unhidden, and rehidden. All that's a record. So yeah, let's unhide him again. All right, just getting caught up. Yeah, I think the mods were trying to get that person, and then they got the other person. And I still think Hippo is blocked, so I don't know if... Can one of you guys scroll up and get him back in the chat? He... is there. Poor Hippo. There we go. All right. We should be back in full force. Guys, tonight it is going to be super, super fast. And The one thing I'm going to do some coaching on the side. With the mods and with everybody else that streams so fast, you're just going to have to scroll up. And let me say this in advance. If you are a long-time viewer, you know what? I'm going to be proactive in this before we even get there, and then we'll get back to Walking Dead. If you're a long-time viewer and you accidentally get banned, just hold tight. We'll get it figured out. Don't take it personally. I don't want anybody, thinking that they did something wrong when it was an accident. All right, cool. Let's get back to tonight's episode. And we're going to get back to the super chat. So Steve Smitherman says, as long as we have hope for Rick, I have absolutely no issues. I have a family and travel for work, and I know how much I miss my little girl. Yeah, it is. I do think he'll be back. You know what? One, I think he's going to do a Walking Dead movie. But let's throw it out there right now. I don't know if I've ever asked this question to the group, so it'll be a good time to get kind of a survey. And I need you to answer this question with really your head, not your heart. Do you think we will see Andrew Lincoln on The Walking Dead again? Do you think we'll see Rick Grimes ever come back? Not including a movie. I'm talking about on the television show. See, what's interesting about this, and that's why it was such a dilemma, I think, for the way they wrote it and the way they wrote him off, is because of that. Is because there is always going to be the hope. So let me say this. After the super chat. We got multiple super chats. And first super chat is Omega Speed says, love the 999 Army. Maybe when I get paid, I'll give a bigger donation. Dude, hey, thank you so much. There is no financial obligation. I love when you guys super chat for a couple reasons. One, it does go to a good cause. Don't ever feel strapped or obligated. But the cool thing about super chats is it does freeze my screen and I get to see it, and I'm going to jump around and hit those comments first. But we've got a ton of support. We've got some people super chat every stream. We've got Patreons. We got sponsors. Just a lot of good things happening with our channel. And we got a big group and a big network that watches the videos, participates in the videos, and watches the ads. I mean, what else can I ask for? You guys are absolutely incredible. But thank you, Omega. I appreciate that comment and appreciate that support. The Truth says, Rick is not going to die. Episode 6 synopsis starts with 6 years after Rick's disappearance. Absolutely. And I think, one, that's an important thing to point out, for sure, because it is not spoiler related, the truth. But there's still some people that they're only going to believe it when they see it. And I will tell you, I'm believing it. You know what? I'm glad that's not a super chat. But I certainly, Ryan Kills just completely threw me off my game. You know, some comments, I think you probably wish that your eyes wouldn't go to them. Ryan, thank you for the offer, but I'm going to decline, unfortunately. I'm all right. Let me get back to the show. Thank you, June. That was the most timely super chat I've ever seen in my life. June Smith says, just saying thank you to Emmy for her support. You are the bomb. Diggity. Actually, all the moderators have done an incredible job, and I'm going to give them just a super shout out here in a little bit before the end of this stream. So we heard that Andy wrote his own ticket. Are you guys all in agreement with that? Everybody heard that Andy decided how he wanted to go out. True? And this is the reason. And I think it is a very important thing going into his last show. All right. And I'm not telling you to fly over to the UK and go sit down at whatever restaurant he goes, or to send him text messages or anything else. But this is what I am saying. A slight amount of persuasion, he deserves it. Don't harass him and his family. But let me say this. He left the door open for coming back, so I can definitely do a stream and say, hey, Andy, when are you coming back? If he wanted to leave, he could have left. But the fact that he left the door open, to me, says that he might miss it. He might miss the group. He might miss the Comic-Cons. He might miss a little bit of that attention. He didn't want Rick to die. He left it open. So I think it is within our right to ask him a couple times a year. We say, hey, Andy, we miss you. When are you coming back? We don't have to ask him 1,000 times, but I do think it's a fair question. Let's jump over to Amy Ferrero. Super cheap chat. Love the dedications to Andy. He's done an incredible job. And Dorothy Martin, remember Andrew Lincoln said his relationship with Rick Grimes is far from over. A little cryptic message that gives people hope. Exactly. And I do think that's a little bit of that relationship. I think he wants that relationship to be there. And I do think he wants the possibility to do something with the Rick Grimes character in the future and not have anybody else do something with that character. The worst thing they could possibly do, since he has left the possibility open, the worst thing they could ever do now is recast him. And I was open to that. I really was. I think early in the season, just to have my kind of rating system was, number one, I don't want Andy to leave. Number two, I want it to be open-ended. Number three, I want it to be recasted. Last would be a death. I did not want a death regardless. I would rather have a recast than a death, but I would rather have it open-ended, and then I would rather have him here. That's my pecking order. I'm not changing that because I didn't want to see him dead. I need the character of Rick Grimes to live on in some way or another. And it will. And I do think him kind of writing his own ticket, well, that prevented anything from being recasted. We are 37 minutes away from what I think is going to be the best Walking Dead episode ever. So I did promise a follow-up question. So if you think tonight is going to be your favorite Walking Dead episode, type that. If you have another Walking Dead episode that sticks out in your mind that was better, type that. So I want you to pick either tonight, or I want you to pick something else that you always remember that goes down in history as your favorite. And I'm going to compare the two. Drama King, New York City says, kills, I think, episode 6 after time skip. This episode will focus on Negan. It's called Who Are You Now? As opposed to I Am Negan. That is a very, very good point. I am still wondering if Negan is going to be imprisoned for 6 years. Because if not, I'm going to need a little bit of a backstory if he's not. If he's been in jail and they've just kind of sucked it up and, it's whatever, then we will we'll get our backstory through that. I mean, he's just kind of been there eating whatever and wishing he had Lucille. A lot of people saying tonight. Well, let's hope that the viewers agree. because I would love to blow the ratings just out of the water. I'm not a big fan of those ratings. So before we get into it, one more question for everybody, and then we're going to start to wind this thing down. Chris Riddle, biting nails, really ready to see it. This is probably more directed for this group. And, of course, people watching the playback, you can comment as well. How many people, other than me, get annoyed by the constant people who say ratings were down, Walking Dead ratings were down, and they just talk about it over and over and over again? I mean, do you guys care about that? And if you do, no offense. But for me, I hate it. I hate when it's another channel and all they talk about is losing 500,000, 600,000 people. Because I like the show. I like the show regardless of whether other people like the show. And I think a lot of times they use that as their leverage, like, well, ratings are down, it must suck. No, if it sucked, I'll tell you it sucked. If it's good, I'll tell you it's good. I don't need the ratings to validate that. Not for me personally. And I wish more people did respond to that. Mel the Vulture with a super chat. Big respect for the mods dealing with all the foolery tonight. That is very, very well said. So I'm going to ask everybody here to do me one big favor, because I'm not going to do a 999 to the end of this. We'll do shout-outs a little bit later. But to follow up on Mel's super chat, if you guys could just give me a little heart emoji or love mods or something, just showing Emmy, Steph, Tommy, Kels, that you have absolutely appreciated what they've done since, since forever, but really since June. From June to now, we have been streaming 5, 6, 7 times per week, and they have been here. One of them has been here at least every episode. Most of them have been here every single night, just putting in the time. And tonight is going to be more intense than most. So if you guys could just show them a little bit of love and just let them know how awesome of a job they do. So thank you so much. I appreciate that. And, as I said many, many times, they are incredible. I love everything they do. And, we talk online and offline. And we don't always agree on, what the blocking criteria should be or how we should go about it. But we figure it out, and they do an amazing job. Omega Speed says, it'd be really cool if someone at Talking Dead gave you a shout-out when they ask a question on the mic. But I think that Negan will still be locked up. You know what? This is what I would say. And we've gotten a little bit of publicity from Seth and from Ross and a couple other people. But if you guys, and I know the Walking Dead nerd would do it, but if you guys ever get the tweet them at AMC Talking Dead, put a little 999 in there and just say, if they read our comment, say, Tommy from the 999 Army. Because eventually I do think on Talking Dead, they need to give us a shout out. So we either need a tweet read or somebody getting up there that's going to get, I don't know what they're going to get tonight. Probably a box of dynamite, something. But get us a shout out on Talking Dead. We got another super chat. So we got, is that Jimmy's? What's up, JJ? I see you. Jimmy's jamming with a super chat and says, Emmy, Kel, Steph, and Tommy rocking it. So that is Jimmy and also Mel. Thank you so much. Love to bring a spotlight to the moderators because I think they're incredible. So in tonight's episode, or in tonight's reaction video, I would anticipate 1,000, 1,500, 2,000 people at any given time. So the comments are going to be fast and furious. I will probably, while it's scrolling, of course I'm going to read the super chats, but I'll probably stop it from scrolling a little bit and jump around just so I can kind of keep my eyes focused on it. Because even tonight with 500, 600 people, you can see, and this is 500 or 600 at one time. So by the time this video goes live in about 5 or 10 minutes, it'll probably be 2,000 people have either been in and out the door. A lot of people come in, they listen for 10 or 15 minutes, and they roll out. But that number you see down there is concurrent, so it is at any given time. Did I miss something from Joe? Man. See, I'm having a hard time staying. I thought I hit Joe earlier. Mel super chatted me to see if I missed a super chat. So I'm going to double check it. Hold on. Let me see if I got Joe's super chat. No. Yeah, I did. Absolutely. Joe Fulford. Sorry, Joe. Missed you, big money. Why can't we just leave this live stream going as the show airs? So, Joe, here's the thing. Number one, if I leave the live stream, I think that's a great question. It's impossible for people to watch the playback. So that's why we usually end the live stream. And number two is the moderators would have to babysit the chat for 2 hours, 3 hours, 4 hours, and it would be an extended video. So that's why we usually kind of stop it and do a different one, because people sort of watch in segments. And Steph's like, no, I got to watch the show. So yeah. The moderators do enough. I can't have them here 24/7. All right, everybody. We have hit 31 minutes. So we're going to wind this thing down. I know some people are fired up. I knew it. I knew it was going to be another super chat before we did it. Hold those super chats for the reaction video, because we're gonna need a few super chats in there just to stop the wildness. So I'm putting a super chat block as of right now for the end of this video. And if you got something, a good thought you want to get included, add it to one of the reaction videos, because the reaction videos are going to be kicking. We're going to need some positive thoughts, some positive people, all of that. So, and I want you guys to, make your popcorn, get your dinner ready, get set up, grab your notepad, get ready to take some notes, because this is going to be a very deep, a very trippy, it's Rick's journey. So we're going to have a lot of stuff to talk about for weeks and weeks. I think a lot of people are just going to be analyzing this. So Ultra Instinct says, hey, 999 Gaming and Army, Rick Grimes, never forgotten. I agree with you. We will not forget him. We will talk about him tonight in a reaction video. So I want to thank each and every person. We will be back here at 10:15 on the dot. It's going to be a 15 or 20-minute stream. It's going to go fast. I won't keep you completely away from Talking Dead. We're going to get in there. It's just going to be our complete, just unfiltered, raw reaction. There will be a little bit more tolerance. I'm not saying spam every F word you have. Keep it respectable, but at the same time, we want to see some emotion. We want to have some fun with it. It is going to be a great stream. Keep it fairly clean. And then after Talking Dead, we will be doing an extended fan reaction. Thanks, everybody. Appreciate everything that you guys have done. This is our third live stream of the day. We will get number 4. I'm going to get shout-outs, not in the next video, but the last video. And once again, special thank you to Emmy, Steph, Tommy, Kells. Get out there, watch the show, everybody. Make sure you are there front and center. Let's push these ratings to an all-time high. Since some people like to dwell on ratings, let's make sure we're watching and we support everything AMC does, tonight, the rest of the season. Thanks, everybody. I'll talk to you all at 10:15. Peace.